Hello, I'm Richard Hunter, Head of Markets, and welcome to our look ahead for the week commencing the 10th of July. Slightly differing fortunes for a couple of major markets, those of the US and the UK, despite the fact there are still concerns that the Federal Reserve may over-tighten interest rates and therefore lead the world's largest economy into recession. The performance of the main indices in the year to date has been reasonably resilient and particularly strong among technology stocks, a cluster of technology stocks that are pretty much carrying the weight there. In the UK, on the other hand, we have this situation of somewhat anemic economic growth and no end in sight to interest rate rises, which is clearly putting pressure on the economy. And it's also being weighed down in terms of the FTSE 100 by falling commodity and oil prices, some uncertainty around banking stocks, which will report half-year results at the end of the month. We'll see whether there's been any increase in bad debt provisions from each of them. And a FTSE dividend yield of just 3.9%, which of course compared to current bond yields starting to look rather less attractive. So in the year to date, the Dow Jones in the States is up by 2.3%, the S&P 500 is up by 15%, the Nasdaq, the technology index, is up by 31%, and the FTSE 100 has given up earlier year gains and is now down by 2.8%. Turning to next week, a few stocks to look out for. We've got a first quarter update from Burberry. Shares up about 24% over the last year. A lot of that, of course, has been down to the return of the tourist, although the recent slowing down of the economic recovery in China could be having an impact, so that's one to look out for. In terms of actual product lines, leather and outerwear, particularly the Lola handbag, has been a good seller, and of course Burberry is well known for its innovative and visible marketing campaigns, be that in the forms of either runway shows or indeed movements in social media, so it's something else that's worth looking out for. It's also been recently undertaking a share buyback scheme, so any further updates on that or indeed its dividend policy is also something worth noting. Trading statement due from Barratt Developments. House builders certainly under the cosh at the moment. Barratt shares are down around 13% over the last year. The latest piece of economic data we've had has shown that UK house prices have declined at the fastest rate since 2011. That's on top of rising interest rates, mortgage availability and indeed affordability. All of these things have been overhanging the house building sector. So for Barratt's, look out for reservation rates, whether they're still declining, and indeed the strength of its forward order book. If there is one positive for Barratt's at the moment, it's a dividend yield of around 9%, although that doesn't necessarily make up for the lack of a share price performance. And finally, we've got a trading update from JD Wetherspoon. Shares are up by about 6% over the last year, although in the year to date, the shares have had a good run. They're up 47% so far in 2023. Obviously, the value offering is something that continues to appeal to customers. They're still getting roughly 60% of their income from bar sales. Roughly the balance is from food sales. There's a small addition from its hotel business, but it's food and drink, as you would expect, which are the main drivers. They had a particularly strong Easter. Obviously, since then, we've had 3 bank holidays in May, so it'll be interesting to see how Wetherspoon has fared there. They are actually on course for record full-year sales at the moment, which is one of the reasons for that share price increase. On the downside, they have also noted that labour, energy and food costs are something of an intractable problem. No doubt they'll be providing further news in terms of the update when received. Thank you for watching. Have a great week.